I mean, we've got to focus on what's happened at Nottingham Forest. It's an amazing mess. Talk about pressing a self-destruct button. Mr. Marianakis is now got to the stage where they could genuinely go down. 39 days in charge for Ange Postecoglou. It was always a managerial appointment that was destined to fail. He is now gone. Overall, do you think that Marianakis was right to pull the plug, Corral?
On Ange?
Yeah.
Should have never plugged it in the first place for me.
Yeah, I agree. Pause. But once he did plug it in...
Pause.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But Corral, right? Once he did plug it in, do you think it was premature to unplug?
All right, I started something here. I want to apologise to the viewers for starters. Do you know what? I like Marianakis for this, like, in the sense that he operates with his heart. There's not really much common sense there. So when a defeat like that happens, we all smelt it. I know there was reports anyway, but we all sat there thinking if they lose to Chelsea and it's a bad result, not even numbers wise, let alone the actual match, because they had chances, he's gone. I didn't think it'd be 20 minutes before the end of the game when he left his seat. But yeah, I'm a big believer in when something's going wrong, if you can't see it going back, just pull the plug.
What's the point in persevering?
Did you feel the way Rory did at the start though, when Ange got appointed, or did you think he could actually do something?
No, because I think what Nuno did was overachieve with that squad that he had last season, and there was no signs of that being a major regression. I don't think them going from being where they finished last season 5th or 6th to if they drop down to 8th this season, it wouldn't have been a massive issue. It's still a platform to build on. Yeah. I think last season was, like I say, an overachievement. Switching to an Ange from a team that had, I think, one of the lowest possession percentages over the course of the season last season, to a team that wants to now play a high line and try and shift it in the season.
The way they play football as managers is just diametrically opposed to one another.
And the squad was so accustomed.
Milenkovic and the keeper was last year, and this year they're just a shell of themselves. It's crazy. What did you think when he got appointed, Ade, and what do you think now?
Madness. It's interesting that Rory sort of called it an amazing mess. The use of those two words are quite interesting. But now I thought it was madness just because ultimately you've not upgraded, have you?
You've downgraded.
And you've downgraded massively. If it was a case if we got rid of Nuno and then, Marianakis was like, okay, I'll show you how big I am, and just got in someone enormous.
Roberto Mancini.
Yeah. Even that, yeah. And you're like, okay, cool, fair enough. Fair dues. You're getting a manager that's won several trophies and is higher maybe viewed than Nuno, but
can I just ask something? Because of the circumstances in which Nuno got sacked.
He had to sack him.
Do you think it was always going to be difficult for the next man?
Why did he have to sack him?
He had to sack him because Nuno Espirito Santo spoke in a degrading way about his employer and the direction of the club. It became untenable. You could argue that...
Well, Marianakis allowed it to become untenable, right?
You could argue that it should have never come to that and whatever else, and that is correct. But once Espirito Santo went public with his vision and with his perspective, it's very difficult. Look, maybe somebody could manage it in a different way.
That's it. That's it, by the way.
But at that point...
There has to be a bridge between Marianakis and Nuno, where Marianakis looks at it and thinks, okay, this is actually successful right now. Like what we're doing is successful.
But once Espirito Santo comes out and degrades the club and Marianakis publicly, it becomes untenable, doesn't it?
But at that point, he's probably on the way out anyway, because like if you look at some of the quotes that were coming out, but from the both of them was like, forget the fact that he came on the pitch after the game, he said, no, we've got a great relationship, everything is between us. And then over the summer, you bring in essentially a buffer between their communication and Edu, then you're creating a strain in that relationship by doing that when you didn't need to bring in Edu.
Yeah, I would think all football clubs have that buffer in terms of like a technical director or a director of football or someone.
You do, but then I think if your project is going well as it is, why change it? Because clearly the players they were bringing in between them and all the conversations they were having led to a great season. Why change the formula, especially to bring in an outsider?
The argument would be, and I don't disagree with you, but just to sort of play it from both sides, the argument would be bringing in Edu off the back of his experiences at Arsenal. What you don't do as a football club is sit still. You try and keep moving. You try and keep improving. You're constantly ambitious. And bringing in somebody like Edu, I think the point, whether it works or not, or whether you agree with it or not, I don't think we can be too snide about the thought behind that. The thought is the furtherance of Forest, isn't it? They brought in Edu.
Steps in the furtherance of a club. You can't go where Forest have been the last couple of seasons to then think all of a sudden we're going to be these big boys floating around the Champions League football. It takes time.
Yeah.
I actually think Marinakis viewed last season as a failure, which might sound crazy. Hence why he went on the pitch. Hence, when he realised we're not making Champions League football, he lost the plot. He thought we were making Champions League football and we're now swimming with the big boys. And I think he looked at Europa League
He had
football.
some plans for that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And they did capitulate. But you do have to also acknowledge that they did, on some level, they were in such a strong position that it was slightly underwhelming that they only ended up at first, at least, in the Conference League. But I kind of understand why he was sacked. What I don't understand is how you can go from, whatever you think of Espirito Santo, he is a good Premier League manager.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
very good,
What he did with Wolves, what he did with Wolves when he had him in Europe, what he did with Forest, he is a good Premier League manager. Ange Postecoglou is a proven bad Premier League manager.
Yeah.
That's why it's a bad appointment. Like, I kind of understand why Espirito Santo had to go. But surely then, when he goes, you go, right, Mourinho, right, Roberto Mancini, keep growing.
And also
This
keep a similar
Postecoglou.
style of manager to what your squad has now become accustomed to.
I genuinely...
But is that an
Particularly Mourinho, yeah.
Is that an Edu bit?
I think he was maybe like 5th or 6th choice. I think we're acting like Ange was first choice. I think people look at what's going on with Forest, and regardless of them being a Premier League club, I think top manager. Look how many top managers now are just happy to sit it out and wait until the right opponent.
do you know
and then
what?
they say, I think Fergie always used to say something about you don't choose the club, you choose the owners, or something along those lines.
you're
Yeah, he
bored.
said
Yeah, you
exactly,
choose the board. And I think people, good managers out there, look at Marinakis and think, absolutely not.
No, but I think
no way.
Marinakis. I disagree. Look, we will never know. But I think it was his first choice. I think it was just his mate. Jobs for the boys. They are mates. I've seen them at barbecues together and stuff. They've got that Greek thing going on.
So what does but then what role does Edu play in all of this? Because if you're brought in as a director of football, technical director, you're bringing in players and all this stuff.
Barbecues.
They were at
What
barbecues.
if you
I
don't
saw
get
it.
that decision making power to say, not pick the manager per se, but say, okay, this is my vision in my position. These are the type of coaches I would need. Ange is not. Ange doesn't look like he fits that
Corrado,
squad.
at certain clubs, regardless of who the director of football is, I mean, on some level, regardless of who the manager is, we know who calls the shots.
Yeah.
At Chelsea, Roman Abramovich was obviously calling the major
course.
shots, right? Edu's responsibilities can be whatever they are. But there's absolutely no way that if Mr. Marinakis goes, I reckon Postecoglou should be the manager, that Edu goes, no.
Exactly. But this is why I said I don't think there was a need for Edu in the first place, which caused the strain in that relationship.
Yeah,
Because
you
clearly,
question the role of Edu.
whatever was going on with them was going well. I just think partially with like the going on the pitch, not qualifying for Champions League. He's obviously was the owner of Olympiacos as well, a massively successful club. So not understanding that your club is actually overachieving rather than failing by not getting into the Champions League, as bad as it looks because it happened in the last few weeks of the season, that's where the missteps are going to come in. Now you sacked Ange, it's like, what now?
And I almost feel like he's undone everything.
Everything.
Remember like that period where they signed loads of players and they come in and just survive?
Yeah.
I feel like they're back to there now.
With that Steve Cooper.
It's just all about surviving.
Have you seen the stats for teams that have appointed 3 managers in the
They
same
always
season?
go down, is it?
Yeah, they basically always get relegated.
Did anyone see Elliot Anderson's interview after?
No.
They said to him, I think it was Elliot Anderson.
Wait, wasn't him? It
definitely-
was Ryan Yates. Are you thinking Ryan
Ryan
Yates?
Yates.
It was
Sorry,
Ryan Yates.
yeah,
I saw
yeah.
it. I didn't see Elliot Anderson's. If he did one,
where
I
he
did see
said,
Ryan Yates.
Wait, have you got any words for the manager? And he went, no,
Yeah,
not
Ryan
really.
Yates. Yeah, Ryan Yates.
It's like, no, not really.
Ryan Yates. I thought he did well, Yates, because he didn't
Sorry,
play.
Yates.
He's just like a pub. He's just sort of like the public face of the club.
I thought he was
now,
going to
isn't
say a pub player.
Public. No, I like Yates. I think he's good. He had a great game against us when they beat us 1-0 once.
What did you make of that? Did you read anything into that, or is that just normal football?
Do you know? I
player
heard the
behaviour?
whole interview. That is very damning. That bit, but his interview
put it on the
wasn't
players a little
particularly
bit, didn't he?
scathing. Yeah, he didn't make it about Postecoglou at all. The entire interview, really, he made it about the players not doing enough.
Well, ultimately as well, he has zero relationship with someone that
Exactly.
he's known for 40 days.
Yeah, true.
You know,
I don't even know
he's
who
going to
he
get
is.
his full money.
Yeah, all bad. It's
Yeah.
all bad.
He's getting 10 million quid for 39 days.
No,
work.
he is not.
He is.
There must be no way.
I
wish
need
they
his
let him
agent.
do the
There
last
must be,
post-match
there must be
press
something in the contract which says if you don't
10
fulfill some sort of
when you sign a contract with your mates,
Marinakis is going to pay him out though.
This
Because I
is
think they
boy.
are mates as well.
His agent would have been
Oh, so
silly
he's going to
not
pay him out,
to
and then it
allow-
goes back to
like-
Marinakis anyway, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he's gonna throw him a
but
couple million.
This is the problem. Apparently, Sean Dyche has basically said, I want to be the manager, but there's absolutely no way. Because what I would say now, if I were having anything to do with this, I would go, look, they should be so much more ambitious than Sean Dyche. They're better than Dyche, but they're not better anymore. This year, they have to hit 40 points. They have to survive. And Dyche is probably the best person for that. But Dyche is going, shut up. I'm not coming in to save you. I'm not coming in to get you 40 points this year and then you long me off next year. So he's saying, if I keep you up, I need assurances the following season.
It's like a 2-3 year
which
deal.
Is why they can't. Which is why now they're at stalemate.
I think need a manager that has done something in Europe as well. Not one in Europe, but just knows how to understand the rigmaroles of
this season,
playing Thursday, Sunday, Thursday.
He has.
With who?
Burnley. They qualified for Europa League.
Qualified for Europe, didn't they? Yeah. And then didn't end the season they went down.
That's why you got a pub name.
No, I think it was the year after.
They went down.
But this season, I agree with you. What they should be looking at is like when I saw Roberto Mancini linked, I thought that was a good point, good link. But now it's Dyche, isn't it? That you don't need Mancini now.
I don't think that's a bad shout for them though, because they're a defensive side. They're defensively minded anyway. Yeah. And I think if you look at his teams before. Like Burnley weren't of the best quality, but he could get them top half finishes.
There's more quality in this team than there was
at Burnley and Everton as well. Like Everton, that was a bad time. I know Moyes went in and he's made it look a bit better, but like it wasn't a great time for the club.
That's the issue though. That what you just said there for me. I just feel like when we think Dyche, are we thinking 5 seasons ago Dyche was doing magic tricks?
You know what? Nothing matters.
I just don't know. I don't know Premier League football.
You know? I personally,
he was terrible at Everton.
But he kept them up, man. When they were looking, how many?
When I see what Moyes has done with Everton,
he was terrible.
Without those point deductions, by the way, it would have been like 8 or 9.
Good show.
I just think that
I forgot about
Dyche might be the right answer now because they just have to survive. They cannot go down.
Do you think they still go down with Sean Dyche?
No,
I don't think they do.
No,
I think they might.
I think there's enough time to rescue this.
There's enough
games to go.
Bad teams. There's enough bad teams in the Prem. There's 3 Wolves have gone.
Lads, you're all
Burnley have gone. You know what I mean? Wolves, Burnley.
About Dyche.
I don't
you're all talking about Dyche like he's Mourinho 05. How good is Dyche?
Not good.
Exactly.
That's my point.
No, but he's good enough.
You're saying that he's going to survive.
He's good enough.
No, I think there are 3 teams that are worse.
I think you see a big reaction from these players as well once the manager leaves.
I can't see it. As things stand, I don't rate Dyche that highly. I don't find him inspiring. I find him flat. I don't think you get the fans going. His time at Everton was underwhelming at best. I don't think he's going to inspire the players. And I think they could go. Also, is there a chance that it's just broken? Is there a chance that,
I don't think
they've got too much. Like, if you look at what you could get out of a fit Chris Wood and Morgan Gibbs-White still at the club, like that's enough to keep them up.
Morgan doesn't even want to be there.
No.
Whether he does or doesn't, but if he wants to get out, he's got to play well.
That's not a good look.
Gets out though.
Yeah, but it gets out.
He gets out.
January
gets out.
Yeah, but it's also
immediately.
As much as you can say he could down tools, it's a World Cup year, so he's likely going to play out of his skin to try and get on the plane. So
they've got enough good players.
They have, but this is the other thing. Ange wasn't playing them, was he? Do you see that? James McAtee
and Dylan
Amari
Bakwa,
Hutchinson, they weren't in the squad.
Like I think that was 3 of their signings.
Even Chris Wood's been in and out. Starting 11.
But that's why Ange's a mad guy. Like Rory said at the beginning, proven bad manager in this league. Like you don't get a manager who finished what was it, 17th or 16th, whatever they finished last season.
If the 3 last year, like those 3 were pitiful, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like terrible. Like Southampton with bloody
Leicester under Russell couldn't buy a win.
Rubbish. Yeah. If the 3 this year had been the 3 last year, Tottenham could have actually gone down. Like they could have actually, if it was the same 3 this year, like the points tally of the 3 that go down this year will be a lot higher than last year. Last year, I didn't think the 3 were going to get 40 points between them. Yeah. This year, they could all get 40 points. Well, 30.
I think 30 something.
30, yeah.
Can Marianakis rescue Forest from this? Can he get back his charm?
I think so.
I don't think. Oh, I think he still has a lot of love from the fans. I think they still like and respect him, and they should. Like whatever you think.
Be wearing thin.
No, but whatever you think of him, like. He's wild. And I think he's made a big mistake here. But what you can never say about him, he puts his own money up and he does want the best for Forest. He isn't thieving out the club. He isn't pulling money out the club. He does genuinely want the best. His methods are potty, but he does honestly want the best. And I think the fans
ultimately we all agree he's made the right decision to let him go.
Yeah.
We don't agree it was the right
decision.
It's
the wrong decision to appoint him, but it's the right one.
Well, it's similar to...
It's like Rossini, a rogue shout.
What? Because of what he's been doing in
Strasbourg.
Yeah.
But
if he would he want to move yet?
Nah, I think he's just to get out. He's got European football.
That,
and they could get Champions League this year.
If a Prem team, the dream's always to manage in the Prem, right?
And the dream's not always, all due respect, to manage Forest.
It's a big shot, yeah.
Surely, like, if it was Fulham, maybe a club that Fulham is a little bit more.
I don't know, Forest big, like, maybe because of my age, they're a big club, but if they knock on the door, it's a difficult one to do.
By the way, for those, I'm not saying Fulham are a bigger club than
No, you better not be.
But you see, I get killed in the
They need someone better than that. like proven better than that. Like they can't take a punt. Like, and I don't think it's. I think they need somebody like.
That's what we said about Bournemouth with Areola. And that's what I'm saying. Are we saying that about Rossini because he hasn't got a foreign name? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you heard about what Rossini is doing at Strasbourg, you're like, that could be the next thing.
But that takes time to build on. The caliber of young players they've got over there is crazy.
Incredible.
But I would say, see, Forest, the way I look at them now is the same way I probably look at or how their fans might view it is like a smaller version of what, like prime Chelsea in the sense of, like, Roman got rid of Mourinho. He got rid of Ancelotti an hour after not winning not securing, finishing second place, by the way. We weren't happy with some appointments or some firings at the timings, but we trusted the owner because we knew he cared about the club. And that carries a lot of weight, especially with clubs that have been through a lot.
The difference is, right,
you always won something every bloody season.
In terms of the damage, particularly, I truly believe if we could like live in a parallel universe and find out what would have happened to the Premier League if Abramovich didn't sack Mourinho after Rosenborg, I think that we have an era, a dominant era. I think Mourinho wins European Cups at Chelsea consistently. I think it becomes something really special. And he didn't. He sacked him, and we basically underachieved in that era.
Of course.
If Forest have the same sort of drop-off from what we had, they go down. Because they're not... they're
not up there. But I would say even if they're like... Because we got to think, if we look at their track record before last season, they were firmly a bottom half team. To the point where when they were doing things last season, we were like, well, we'll just wait for the wheels to fall off and they'll finish 13th, 14th, 15th. They held on. And I think...
do you think they survived then? Cards on the table, everyone. Do you think Forest survived?
Yes.
I think there's three worse teams than this season.
I do.
I'm not as convinced as you, Adam.
I think they survive. I think
are they better? Are they better than West Ham for you?
Not now, Espirito Santo's there.
I think some teams have been killed by their schedule.
Name the three that you think stay up instead of them.
Burnley, Leeds, Wolves. At this point, I was going to say Sunderland, but they've had a great schedule so far. It's a hot take, but Sunderland aren't as good as people think. They've just had a great schedule to start the season.